How you guys doing? So today, I like to talk about a lot of those who, from the manosphere, who love to point out to women, all men built the world, and that little talking point of theirs, how they love to push it in the face of women that it was men who built the world. I'm like, uh, yeah, men of generations past. It was the men of past generations that built the world, not you motherfuckers. Okay, a lot of these guys who say that, who talk like this, who, who love to repeat the talking point. What are they building? What what are they building? A lot of the most guys who go around saying that stuff, you're not going to see them working in these labor-intensive jobs like construction, farming, mining. Um, I remember that back in this is 2023, I believe, yeah. So Dr. Phil, if you guys remember, he made a whole episode about the Manosphere. He had Rollo Tomasi on. He had this fucking he had this like nerd kid who was trying to copy Andrew Tate, and this fucking kid was on his video saying things like, "Oh, it was men are built to men are meant to build things, and women are meant to raise are designed to raise kids." And guys who follow this logic, my question to them is, what have you built? What have you personally built? What are you building right now? Exactly. And a lot of these guys, for women out there who may come across this, just ask them that. Ask them, what are you building currently? And you'll see that 99% of the time, most of the time, there may be a few exceptions here and there, but most of the time, that'll stop them in their tracks. Because, like I said, most guys who love to repeat this talking point, they're not building shit. They're not out there, at a construction site. They're not building anything. I can respect a guy um, who can, who is who works hard, who's built things, is building things, and may agree with that talking point. I can respect that guy because he's, putting his back into it. He's agreeing. Sorry, he's backing up what he's saying. But most of these guys that are gonna follow this crap, they're not doing shit. See, just like those guys who love to claim them, who love to say, "Oh, we," sort of like this video. I remember that Steven Crowder, right around the time of his divorce, he played this video saying about how people got married in the 50s, and we need to go back to our origins. And I'm like, bro, most of these guys, most like Gen Z adults, they wouldn't survive. They just would not, like, no, they wouldn't have made it back in those days. Same with these guys who like to talk about how who say that they'll claim that their ancestors are some kind of ancient people, like they'll say that all their ancestors are Vikings, and I'm like, for example, there are some white guys that will claim all their ancestors were the Vikings, and I'm saying to myself, dude, you would have been somebody's bitch. All right, Leif Erikson you would have been like a galley slave for Leif Erikson. All right, same with uh, like like some of these black guys who will talk about Shaka Zulu and Mandingo warriors. I'm like, listen, those guys would have laughed at you All right, you're a modern man. There's no way in hell you would have survived. You would have survived the training. All right, Shaka Zulu, for example, to be among like a real Zulu warrior. One of the tests that a teenager went through, a teenage boy, was put through in a lot of the Zulu tribes is he had to walk on thorns. He had to walk barefoot on thorns and actually pass the test to become a warrior. I don't think these modern males would survive that. Well, not survive. Well, they wouldn't die from that, but they they'd probably start crying. Same with some Mexican guys. Well, um, that I've heard talk about. Oh, our Aztec ancestors. I'm like, listen, you would have been the first sacrificial victim. All right, Montezuma would have looked at you like, get the fuck out of my face. All right. And that's what these guys don't get about the whole like I said, they don't. Most of those who are gonna try to um, harp on the whole men built the world crap are guys who are not building anything, have never built anything, have never had to work a job that required them to. Either we're talking about um, either it's an upper class, lower class guy saying this. He has never built shit in his life. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.